Hey guys, most folks see the Amish as all about hard work. They are. But when it came to their chicken coops, they never built one facing this direction. Ever. It wasn't about luck or faith or some old wives' tale. This was a simple, genius choice they made. A way to skip daily trips with 2 heavy buckets. This one hidden rule changed everything about farm life, saving them hours each week. And that chore, it's the one thing that never lets you leave. It's the 2 buckets, twice a day, every single day. It doesn't matter if it's pouring rain or a freezing January morning. Those buckets have to be carried. Your knees can be screaming, but the chickens still need to eat and drink. It's relentless. But it's not just the back-breaking work. You're also throwing away money. Think about how chickens eat. They stand in their food, scratch it all around, and kick about half of it onto the ground. That wasted feed just molds and brings in rats. I know one guy who cut his feed bill by almost a quarter just by fixing that one problem. The thing is, the Amish solved all of this generations ago. With no electricity, no fancy technology, they figured out how to build a coop that could basically feed and water itself for days, just using gravity. It proves a simple rule they live by. Simple stuff almost always outlasts the complicated stuff. And their entire setup? You can build it for well under $30. Okay guys, so let's break down this 2-bucket problem, because it's more than just a chore. It's a tyrant. For most of us, it means hauling feed and water twice a day. Every single day. It doesn't matter if it's pouring rain or your back is screaming at you. Those buckets have to get carried. It's this never-ending grind that makes keeping chickens feel like a job. And the feed bucket? That's where you're just throwing money away. A chicken doesn't just eat. She stands in the feeder, scratches around, and kicks about half of her food straight onto the ground. That spilled grain just gets wet, molds, and basically sends out a dinner invitation to every rat in the neighborhood. Then you have the water. I spent close to 30 years hauling buckets of water twice a day before I finally switched. You know how fast an open waterer gets disgusting. Within hours, there's a green slick of algae on it, or it's filled with dirt and droppings the chickens have kicked in. The fix for all this is a simple gravity-fed system. For feed, it's a bucket with a few PVC elbows at the bottom. The chickens can't stand in it, so they can't waste it. For water, it's a sealed bucket with a few little steel nipple drinkers. It stays perfectly clean and can last for a week or more. Now, there is a small catch. A hen doesn't just know how to use a nipple waterer. You have to teach her by tapping the little pin until she sees the water come out. But once one gets it, the rest follow pretty fast. But here is the most important part of this whole thing, and I really want you to hear this. Automatic does not mean unwatched. This system is designed to save your back, not replace your eyes. When you're not out there every morning watching them crowd the feeder, you lose a chance to see who's healthy and who's not. You still have to go out every single day and just watch them. Take a minute to see who's eating, who's drinking, and who might be standing off in a corner by herself. That's how you catch a problem before it gets bad. The system takes care of the work, but you still have to take care of the birds. So, you've got this great automatic system. You're feeling pretty smart. But then winter hits. And that's the catch. Those fancy nipple waterers, in a hard freeze up north, they'll freeze up solid, just like anything else with water in it. For about 3 seasons, your system works perfectly. But that 4th season, especially in cold country, it's going to need your help every single day. Suddenly, you're right back to where you started, either hauling fresh water or figuring out how to thaw a frozen bucket. Your automatic system just became another manual chore. It's not just the cold, either. Moisture is the #1 enemy of your feed. You can have the best gravity feeder in the world, but if it's not protected, it's useless. That's why it needs a tight lid and has to be tucked up safely under the roof line. If it gets damp, that feed will get stale and start to mold long before your chickens can finish it. And moldy feed can make a bird sick or even kill her. You have to size your feeder so they empty it every 2 to 3 weeks, max. Any longer, and you're just asking for trouble. Then there's the flip side of the coin, sunshine. If you use a clear or light-colored bucket for your waterer, you've basically built a perfect little algae farm. A little bit of water and a little bit of warmth from the sun, and you'll get that nasty green film growing on the inside walls, especially in the summer. The fix is simple. Just use a dark or an opaque bucket. It blocks the light and stops most of that growth before it can even start. So you see, it's the freezing cold, the dampness, and the direct sun that turn these automatic systems back into a daily prison. And the single biggest thing that controls all three of those, the direction your coop is facing. Okay guys, that's the secret. It's not about just pointing your coop a certain way. It's about creating a single, integrated system where the coop itself protects the automatic feeder and waterer inside. When you get that right, daily chores can turn into a once every 3 weeks job. Let's start with the feeder. Forget the fancy store-bought stuff. All you need is a free 5-gallon bucket and a few bucks in PVC elbows. That one bucket can hold about 30 pounds of feed, which is enough to keep a half dozen hens happy for the better part of 3 weeks. The magic is that the feed comes out of these little downward elbows. The hens can't scratch it and kick it all over the floor, which is a huge waste. I had a buddy, Vin, who built one of these, and he swore the change cut his feed bill by almost a quarter. Then there's the water. Instead of an open dish that gets filled with dirt and droppings, you use a sealed bucket with little poultry nipples on the bottom. The water stays perfectly clean, and you don't get that nasty green slime growing inside. And you can take that a step further. I know one old keeper who ran his nipple waterer off a 55-gallon food-grade barrel, using a simple float valve just like the one in your toilet tank. He went the better part of a month between fills. The whole setup, the feeder, the waterer, even the float valve, can be built for well under 30 bucks. You just have to remember to teach your birds how to use the nipples. It sounds silly, but it's a step you can't skip. Look, simple things outlast complicated ones. This system uses gravity to do the work for you, and when it's tucked safely inside a properly facing coop, it solves all those problems of freezing, moisture, and sun. But here's the most important rule of all. Automatic does not mean unwatched. It means less work. It never means no attention. You still have to get out there and check on your flock every single day. Okay, so the goal is to make that daily check-in a quick hello, not a half hour of hauling buckets through the mud. You want to walk out, see that everyone is happy and healthy, and walk back inside. And there is one tiny, brilliant addition that makes this entire system truly hands-off. It's a little access hatch built into the back wall of the coop, right behind your feeder and waterer. Think about it. On a cold, rainy morning, you don't even have to open the run. You just walk up to the back of the coop, open this little door, and pour the feed or top off the water from the outside. It's a 5-minute job that turns a messy chore into something you barely have to think about. I'll be honest, after I built my first one, I never built a coop without it again. And this brings me back to the most important rule of all. When you switch to an automatic system, you have to be even more observant.